civil rights, but the goal is human rights. We trying to do the right thing, y'all. Check this one out.
NAACP,
Thank you.
Ruby Bridges, thank you.
Barbara Johns, thank you.
Claudette Colvin, thank you.
Little Rock 9, thank you.
Carolyn McKenzie, thank you.
Clyde Kennard, thank you.
Joyce and Dory Ladner, thank you.
Tougaloo 9, thank you.
James Coleman, thank you.
Septima Clark, thank you.
Diane Nash, thank you.
Now, how do we feel about the NAACP?
Real good. So what do you guys feel like our fight is for today's generation? What do you think that we can do to change it? Anybody? Because I feel like today, in our age, our problem is we don't know our history.
And we don't, and that's why there's like this big generational disconnect between our elders and us. So it's like if we don't have this conversation about what happened then, and maybe we can fix our now, then it's going to continue to be a problem. So our fight is to understand what history has taught us and then correct it, or at least try to enhance what we've learned or where we can go now, because you can't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been.
A lot of us feel like we've already accomplished everything. Like they think, okay, we have voters' rights and we can go to integrated schools and everything else. So they don't see that there's still things that are in place and institutionalized things and a whole list of things that are just embedded in our culture that we have to fix still.
I was talking to my brother and his friends like not too long ago, and they really don't know Black history at all, and they really don't want to know. So I think it's up to, to me, as a college student who has came here and, got a little bit of education and understand how important it is to know our history, to go back and tell them like, hey, you need to know this, because if we don't tell a story, nobody else is going to tell it.
We don't know our history, but more of that we've been given like a watered down version of our history. We've been, even in grade school, we were just taught Martin Luther King, like you said, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, the basic people, and it almost seems like they were telling us that our history stopped at the Civil Rights Movement.
We have to get to a point where people understand that it didn't start with slavery. It goes far. We were the first civilization, and then we're still making advances today. There's 1,001 things that are not taught about our culture, and I think the reason why there's that huge disconnect is because we feel like we already learned it all. There's a large amount of spontaneity in learning about Black culture when you were in school. Like I literally remember the same lesson I learned in kindergarten. Martin Luther King fought for equality was the same lesson that I learned in high school. Martin Luther King fought for equality. I know this.
Everything is systematically set up so that you only know what they want you to know. And I think that my dad always told me, like, if you want to know something, get out a book and read it, because back in the day they used to say they put it in a book because they knew we wasn't going to read it. And so I think that that's the mentality that we still have now, and we don't teach the people that come after us that, we can teach our brothers and sisters that. And like Malaya, who was the former NAACP president, it was funny because me and her just had this conversation, and her little brother was talking about Black History Month at school, and they were learning about the Diary of Anne Frank. Like, they were learning about the Holocaust during Black History Month. It's like Black history has no history, because if you go, if they know they had to teach you the truth, they will realize that America's not really what they say America was founded on.
We don't embrace or highlight, the accomplishments we're making now, but then also the issues that are coming up now. We have issues like, lack of opportunity to go to school through the school to prison pipeline. We have things in Ohio where they cut the budget in half for the Ohio College Opportunity Grant.
We have the little issues like the Stand Your Ground law that's going to be coming to Ohio pretty soon, that we don't understand that, yes, they affect us every single day.
What do y'all think about?
I am anti.
What do you think about Stand Your Ground and economic justice? What do you think about those two?
This is how
Stand Your Ground is basically lynching being brought back to the Americans. It's modern day lynchings.
I feel like Stand Your Ground law was supposed to make you feel safe, and it's more dangerous because when anybody can feel some type of way. So if I'm approaching you and you feel harmed, you can shoot me. That's not fair. You're supposed to be keeping us safe, but really you're harming us. in a way that you're not thinking. And I think it's mainly to keep, I don't want to say blacks, but minorities in check.
It would probably come to a lot of cities and a lot of states. But if Trayvon Martin case never would have happened, would y'all even care about it?
But a lot of times it takes an action for something to get solved.
Yeah, but how far are we actually taking it? Because everybody rallied, everybody was having like dinners, and everybody was gathering around to watch the case. Everybody was so upset when the verdict came out, and then cease and dismiss.
But that's what the NAACP is for. It's time for us to get out there and let people know, hey, the stand your ground law is coming to a halt. If you don't know what it is, this is what happened to Trayvon Martin. Because everybody knows Trayvon Martin. You may not know the incident about the black female that shot the gun in the air, but you know about Trayvon Martin. And that's when we have to start educating, because it's our job to do so, and that's what the NAACP is for.
Talk real briefly about the school to prison pipeline. Who has something on that? What do you think about that?
I think it's another form of second-class citizenship. You know, when we look at it, whenever we were slaves, we were second-class citizens. You know, we weren't citizens at all. But then whenever we came with the Jim Crow laws, that was a legalized second-class citizenship. So now, whenever we look at school to prison pipeline, you know, first, you know, you already know who they're targeting. They're targeting young colored people.
Our monies. Why is it important that we support each other?
In the Jewish community, a dollar can flip anywhere from 10 times. In the black community, if we do invest in our own businesses, it only flips 3. How can we expect ourselves to become something if we can't invest in each other? They even said that African Americans, if we were a country, we'd have the 3rd largest buying power in the world.
I think just because, I don't think moving out is a lot, but I feel like if you are coming from the poverty and you move out of that situation, I feel like that shows enough that you did move out of that poverty and come back and say, hey, you can come where I am at now. So I won't say stay there and be in poverty and live there, but you can come down and say, hey, come back and get back in financial.
Why is falling back in love with ourselves important?
You know what?
Why is black love important?
So it's finding an appreciation for yourself, and then also knowing that, hey, this person, we came from the same background, so we need to come together and we need to make things happen for ourselves.
I was just about to say, because when he brought up black love, we all got scared, like we're talking about love between a man and a woman. But back in the day, when they kicked the blacks out of communities, black people came together and made their own community. They opened up the stores because they realized, well, if they want our money, why should I give them their money when I can't even go into their store? So instead, they came together because they loved each other.
Women, we either down each other or give each other nasty looks. The men can never seem to get along because they're too busy arguing over the woman, or the woman's arguing over the man, but we don't know how to come together as a community. Because when I was growing up, everybody in that apartment that I lived in could give me a whooping. Everybody in that apartment could discipline me. So if I got in trouble and my mom was upset, I would go to my neighbor. My aunt lived in that building. My grandmother lived in that building. I have cousins that live in there. It's a community that we need to get back, and we have to work towards too, because that can explain why a lot of our black youth is acting the way they are now.
Let me ask you this. A big one is respect. Why is respect? You know, and when you tag respect, tag it with violence. What can we do about the violence? Respect and violence, because they go hand in hand. And you can't demand respect, you have to earn it. Go ahead.
I think that the issue with all the violence now is that the fathers aren't there, or the moms aren't there for some reason or another. There's been some type of disconnect, and they don't understand the meaning of respect, and they think that respect means I have to pull out my gun and tell you I'm about to shoot you, so you need to get down and you need to submit to whatever it is that I need you to do. And I think that, black cinema also plays a part in that, because they Hollywoodized it and they glamorized the gang life and the thug life. And so now people have taken that, and then even the rappers, and many rappers will tell you, this is not who I am, I just do this to get a paycheck. But people idolize them, and they think that this is their life, and that's where the respect disconnect comes in.
And we done up here at Wright State. We up here for